Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Spectrum Health in Western Michigan making history today, administering the first COVID-19 vaccines in the state, and now it's happening all over the nation.
And there are no more questions tonight about Michigan's 16 electoral votes, but it didn't become official without a bit of drama. We begin here at 6 with the apparent end of a tense chapter in Michigan politics.
Today, Joe Biden received all 16 of Michigan's Electoral College votes. The president-elect putting out a statement saying, in part, in this battle for the soul of America, democracy prevailed. We the people voted, faith in our institutions held, the integrity of our elections remains intact. And so now it is time to turn the page, to unite, to heal.
It has been a long road to this afternoon's results. Let's get over to Local 4's Rod Maloney. He's live in Lansing with a look at how we got here and where things might be headed, Rod.
Well, despite the possibility of violence, at least the thought that there might be some, and one state representative looking to seat an alternative slate of electors, things were actually quite quiet here as the Electoral College did its business. In the 40 days since the November 3rd election, Michigan found itself in the middle of chaos. From the shouting at the TCF Center as Republican election watchers felt left out of the count, to Wayne County Board of Canvassers regretting certifying,
No, you didn't. Okay.
to the Republican legislative leadership's trip to the White House, and then the president's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, testifying in Lansing.
Easily 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 illegal votes.
The battle to overturn Michigan's election was a pitched battle. And even today, there were protesters outside the Capitol, like Sue Hesling of Mount Clemens.
All they're doing is they're trying to protect a result rather than protect the freedoms of the American public and Michiganders.
Yet for all the consternation, the election's results came to a close this afternoon.
The electors have unanimously cast 16 votes for Joseph R. Biden.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer looking to move on.
And after today, the results will be final. It's time to move forward together as one United States of America. Now is the time for us to put this election behind us and to focus our efforts together to defeat our common enemy, COVID-19.
Now, that chaos gave outgoing Congressman Paul Mitchell, a Republican, pause. And so tonight he announced that he is now going to become an independent because he doesn't want to be associated with the chaos that came from this post-election situation. Back to you.
And Rod, you noted the Republican leadership, of course, went to the White House. They said at the time that they didn't see anything that would change the vote. What did they say today?
Well, they put out statements right around the time that the Electoral College voted, and they said essentially the same thing, that there was not any fraud that they could see that would be bad enough or would rise to the level of overturning the election. They said this is going to move forward, and it has.
All right, Rod.
A major moment in the fight against COVID-19 as the vaccine arrived at hospitals and made its way into people's arms.
Exactly.
All right, my dear. Ready. 2, 3.
That was the scene in Ann Arbor as Michigan Medicine began vaccinations of an initial group of 5 frontline workers.
Sean Lay is in Ann Arbor with a closer look at the history made today and what happens next. Sean.
Kimberly, a remarkable day. We talked to some of those frontline workers after they got those initial first vaccines. You need 2. Keep in mind they felt just fine. They had no apprehension getting those vaccines. And just 1 mile from here at Michigan Medicine is the VA here in Ann Arbor. They're expected to do the same with their frontline workers fighting for our veterans tomorrow.
It will be fast and furious, but we have a certain amount of pride. We want to meet the needs of our veterans and our healthcare providers.
Fast and furious, that's how the VA Ann Arbor Health System is describing its plan when it received the first doses of COVID-19 vaccines this week. Getting that vaccine to its frontline workers fast to help save lives of veterans hit hard by the virus.
The last 3-4 weeks, we were all feeling like this is going to happen. And this really is a big deal for us, and I think we're all hoping the same thing. hoping that this is the beginning of the end to this pandemic.
The VA, Ann Arbor, like so many healthcare providers here in Michigan, got slammed by the first wave of the virus. Then the VA got prepared for the second wave, and at the same time, getting ready to get the vaccine in their hands and a plan to get it to high-risk employees and high-risk vets starting as early as tomorrow.
We've had several teams working on getting prepared on how we're going to receive the vaccine, how the pharmacy is going to store the vaccine, how nurses are going to administer the vaccine. It's a fairly complicated process, and we feel very prepared that we will be able to do it effectively and safely.
Yeah, VA Ann Arbor Health System.
And we do apologize. We seem to be having some technical difficulties with Sean's report there. We'll move along with the rest of the news today. Devin?
Because we know many people have been asking us questions about the vaccine. There's still a lot that we need to be helping people understand, as he's been doing since the beginning of this pandemic. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge working to answer your questions, and he's live now to walk us through some of these bigger questions, and a lot of them have been fairly consistent over the last couple days that you're hearing, Doc.
Yeah, they really have been, Devin. So the biggest question is, when will life get back to normal? And the answer is, it's frankly going to take several months for us to get enough people vaccinated to even approach something that feels more normal. But this is definitely a step in the right direction. And that leads me to another question that I'm hearing quite frequently.
Many people are asking, if the COVID-19 vaccine works, why would I still have to wear a mask and social distance after I get it? There are actually a couple of reasons. First, while the vaccine was 95% effective in the clinical trials, that means a small fraction of people who get it will still be unprotected, and we can't predict who those are. Second, we actually don't know yet if the vaccine prevents people from spreading the virus, even if they themselves don't get sick. The clinical trial only looked at how effective the vaccine was at keeping people from getting sick. While it makes sense that the vaccine probably will reduce transmission, that hasn't been proven yet. Another popular question: how long will the protection from the vaccine last? Will we need to get a shot each year? The simple answer is we don't know yet. That is one of the questions we can only answer with time. Pfizer will continue to follow the participants in their clinical trial for 2 years, and that is a key question they hope to answer. Some viewers are also wondering, at what point can you be reasonably sure that there will be no more side effects? In the clinical trials, most side effects occurred within the first 2 days and resolved quickly. In general, the vast majority of vaccine side effects occur in the first 6 weeks after a vaccine is given. Side effects outside of that time period do sometimes occur, but are considered rare.
Now, a viewer asked, if the vaccine has to be stored at such a cold temperature, how do they get it into a syringe and into your arm without burning the skin? So here's the deal. While we've heard a lot about the negative 94 degrees that the Pfizer vaccine requires, that's just for storage. The vaccine actually has to be thawed and brought up to room temperature before it can actually be given.
All right, Doc, and so many questions coming in. If you have one about the virus or the vaccine, please submit it to us on our homepage at clickondetroit.com, and Dr. McGeorge will try to get to as many as we can. Looking at the latest coronavirus numbers here in Michigan, the state continues to see a drop in cases but a rise in deaths. The state reporting 7,205 new cases of COVID-19 over the past 48 hours. So per day, that's down a bit, but sadly 90 more Michiganders have lost their lives to COVID-19.
And a tragic loss of life on I-94 in Detroit this morning. A Camaro slammed into the back of an SUV, killing the 2 people in the Camaro and the driver of that SUV. Priya Mann spoke with Michigan State Police following their investigation of an accident with troubling circumstances.
After 3 people died in a suspected drunk driving crash, Michigan State Police aren't holding back, saying the decision to get behind the wheel after you've been drinking isn't a tragedy, it's preventable.
I don't want to say it's tragic because I think that gives people an out. This was somebody that got behind the wheel and killed himself and 2 other people. That's not tragedy, that's stupidity.
State police say speed and alcohol were factors in a violent crash that left 3 people dead on a Detroit freeway.
There's no reason now in today's day and age, especially with the pandemic going on, to be out there driving under the influence.
The crash happened on I-94 and Outer Drive just before 2 Monday morning. State police say the driver of a Chevy Camaro was speeding when he rear-ended a Mercury SUV heading in the same direction.
This is the one crime we could make go away today if people did not get behind the wheel impaired.
State police say a 38-year-old man driving the Chevy Camaro was drunk. He died, as did a 38-year-old woman in the passenger seat. The 61-year-old driver who was rear-ended was also killed. Just weeks before Christmas, 3 families now grieving because one person decided to drink and drive.
There's 2 families out there, 3 families out there that possibly will never have this same experience in life again because their loved ones are gone.
In Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya. Federal prosecutors reach a settlement with the UAW in the aftermath of the ongoing corruption scandal. The new reform agreement includes the appointment of an independent monitor to try to help combat fraud. That monitor will stay in place for 6 years and will watch the union's finances. This proposed deal would allow members to decide if they'll vote directly on the union's leadership. An investigation into bribery and embezzlement in the upper ranks of the UAW has led to 15 convictions thus far, including 2 former union presidents. Current president, though, Rory Gamble, important to note, they took pains to say, is not a target of the investigation. General Motors announces a new investment into 2 of its plants in the U.S., $76 million going into the Tonawanda, New York engine plant and its Parma, Ohio metal stamping plant. $70 million investment will be used to increase capacity on the engine block machining line in the Tonawanda plant. The $6 million will be used to construct 4 new metal assembly cells to support increased truck production volumes in Parma. GM says both plants help meet the continued strong demand for the full-size Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra pickups.
A woman arrested in the death of a Monroe County animal control officer is now formally charged. Officer Darian Young was killed when a driver crashed in her car at the intersection of M50 and Raisinville Road. This happened back in June. Well, now Michelle Dropolich of Hudson is charged with second-degree murder, operating while intoxicated, causing death, and reckless driving causing death. A judge denied her bond. She'll be back in court Thursday.
Detroit's police have a new partnership that will allow them to respond to calls in a better way. We'll tell you about the team up and why just ahead.
Plus, here's Ben.
Kim and Devin, those flakes that we saw this afternoon may be the only ones we get all week. We'll tell you where this.
A suspected bank robber police had no trouble identifying, not only because of his tattoos, but also his criminal history. Wait until you hear how long this man had been out of prison before getting into trouble again.